Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Evan and Sean's Lenten adventure. It is week 3. I feel like this is the hump week of Lent. Like this is when stuff is starting to drag. Your fasting might be getting old, all that kind of stuff. So hopefully checking in with us today will keep you going. So Sean, how is your Lent going? Are you sticking with everything? How was your week this week?
Yeah, so I know the last couple of weeks I've been a little uncertain about what my fast would be.
Mm-hmm.
If that's you, that's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I've kind of landed on something, and it was something that I was already starting to do
Okay.
before Lent, and I'm just like, no, we're really gonna do this.
Mm-hmm.
I got all the social media stuff off my phone,
Hey, awesome.
so it's on my iPad now. So I just look like, like
You
I'm
just
having a
look
real
like
good time on my iPad.
a middle-aged man on your
Yeah.
iPad. That's awesome.
How do you do this? Yeah, so that's really fun. The devotional I've been doing has been really great.
Mm-hmm.
It's NT Wright. It's in Luke. We're in a Mark year, at least for Lent at our church. So it's been cool. I really like reading that and spending time,
Mm-hmm.
through the Beatitudes. Evan and I took a Beatitudes
We
course.
did. I was gonna plug that too, man. We did a little time with NT Wright in college. I haven't read every NT Wright book in the world, obviously, but I've never read one that I didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, my Lent's going well too. I'm still working. If you're just joining us for the first time, I decided to give up afternoon screen time because I usually have office hours in the morning. I'm with students at night, and I'm just kind of wasting my middles of my days. And so I've given up afternoon screen time. And I have to say, for the wrong motivation, it's really helped with Bible reading. And it's like I have nothing else to do. I might as well crack my Bible. So, but it's going well. I'm just kind of like, I feel like the whole point of Lent, I'm just spending some time with God. And like, I think it's pretty convenient. Like God has me, I'm working through Genesis right now. And like, I'm reading it more as a story instead of this practical application. Because sometimes I think we come to it and we're like, okay, how can I make my life better? How can I make my life better? But some of the Genesis stories are so just strange, or just they're different.
Yeah.
They have a purpose, but they're not like Abraham and Lot splitting goats. There's no takeaway. I can't like change how I interact with my family based on this goat story. I don't raise goats. It's not there. So it's been nice to just spend time with God. No agenda, no practical theme. It's just I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, doing well. Didn't goof this
Yeah,
week.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, Lenten fasts, and sometimes we forget that Lent is a fast.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes we think it's so much of a discipline thing, and
Mm-hmm.
we forget the purpose of the fast. I don't know about you, but the times that I've done sort of a fast from food,
Mm-hmm.
um, where you really feel in your body that you are missing something, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that sort of feeling of deprivation is what brings you to God. That's like your reminder
Yep.
to be prayerful. So
So I'm scared to admit this because we're doing this on the internet. Maybe I'm not a true believer. I've never fasted, man. I know myself. I can't function. I think I
that
have
is
like a
very
blood
true.
sugar thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I never went to a doctor about it, but like it's one of those where like if your eye causes you to sin, poke it out. If not eating, I would be like, I'd tear it up. Like as a kid, my youth group did 30-hour famines. I didn't go. My parents didn't even ask why I didn't go because they knew. Like,
Yep.
so
I can attest to that. If you don't know Evan, being in college, if Evan was sleepy or hungry, he was mean, like
yeah,
straight up mean.
right. Like nobody needs those 30 hours with me just being a jerk. Like it's just no one's going to be a better Christian if I'm there. Let's talk about this activity. So
Yeah.
again, if you're joining us, each week has an activity. Oh, and I want to plug too. I think part of why I'm loving Lent this year is these videos are keeping me honest. Like I
Yeah.
have to do my Lenten activities because I'm getting on here and filming. And so for you guys watching, I really hope that that's helping you guys. And if it's not, maybe find a family member or friend, somebody who will ask you if you're doing your Lent things, because it really helps. Like I probably wouldn't have done the breath prayer because it's something I've never done before, but I knew I had to make a video about it. So I forced myself to do it. So yeah, I hope these videos are helping keeping you guys accountable. And if they're not, grab a family member or a friend who can also. So Yeah. What did you think of the breath prayer? Is that something you do in your life?
Yeah, so I have done the breath prayer before. It was introduced to me. Our church did kind of like a staff retreat that had a lot of more contemplative
Mm-hmm.
uh, prayer traditions,
Okay.
and so breath prayer was one of them.
Okay.
And I really like it.
Okay.
Was it good? Did you find it like easy for you to adopt?
Yeah, I did. I found so in the packet, you know how there was that whole sheet. I read through each one and I wasn't really vibing with it, I'd say. But when I settled on one and did that for a while, I really liked it and meditated.
Hmm.
And yeah, I would say I enjoyed it. Probably if I was ranking, I liked the color one more, but
Hmm.
this was nice too because I felt like I could do this in the car or hey, something like that. Like I could do it on the go a little bit more, but I liked it.
When I did the breath prayer, and this is kind of similar, um, I would kind of take, for example, like breathing in God's peace and breathing out my chaos or something like that,
Okay.
and sort of letting myself breathe. Not so every breath has to be a prayer, but
Mm-hmm.
until I felt like, okay, I have internalized more of God's peace or
Mm-hmm.
God's order or whatever into my chaos. That was something that I've done before, and so the cool thing about like breath prayer, I don't know, this is me trying to be a scientist, but like I'm not a scientist
Mm-hmm.
at all, but like clinically proven that when we do our breaths, when we breathe
Mm-hmm.
deeply, because a lot of the time we breathe very shallowly, uh,
Okay.
it just throughout the day. But when you intentionally take deep breaths, and I'm talking about like count in 4, count out 4. I took yoga, so that's where I learned that one.
Okay.
Um, but when you do that, it slows down our heart rate,
Yep.
which helps us to relax. So
Mm-hmm.
incorporating like a legitimate relaxation method with prayer is like really, really powerful.
I like
Um,
that, man. Yeah.
yeah.
I think so. I'm doing this book club. It's like a national youth ministry book club, and I'm in like this like Pennsylvania group with other youth directors and youth leaders and everything. And it's funny, we just had one yesterday, and I felt like I was the only one on there who was happy. Like it was like the typical like
Mm,
pick an adjective for your week, and I was the only one who had a positive adjective. And you know how life like ebbs and flows, and sometimes it's a 4 out of 10, sometimes it's an 8. I feel like just right now in my life it's like a 9 or a 10. And so it was cool to do the breath prayer in that
hmm.
way, and of like I didn't feel as though I was breathing in the peace and exhaling the chaos. Nothing against you because I don't have any chaos at the moment, so I've just kind of been trying to work on like Christian contentment almost. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's kind of what I'm trying to make my theme of Lent. Because sometimes, like with prayer, it's just easy, like, oh, grandma's sick, or I'm in a crisis, or I don't have money to put gas in the car, whatever kind of thing. But like also being like, hey, life is good. Like taste and see that the Lord is good. So like that was kind of where I was trying to lean in with those breaths, but it was definitely like stretching me because I think stereotypical, it's easy to run to God when it's bad,
Yeah.
very easy to forget about him when it's good. But
Well, and what a cool message too. Like when you are in a time of, uh, you know, selecting the things that are most important and pushing the things that aren't as important out
mm-hmm.
and finding contentment there.
Yeah.
It's like, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
That's
I
super
feel.
cool.
Yeah, man. What about, do you know off the top of your head what we have going on for next week?
I
I have,
think the next week is our nature prayer walk.
yes, that's what I thought so too. I'm excited about that. I have been kind of feeling like all of these have been in my house at the kitchen table kind of prayers. So I'm excited to kind of get out in the world and
Hmm.
everything. I also do want to just like caution, or it might feel weird to you, and that's okay. I've done like some prayer walks through communities, whether like with church or on a mission trip. It can feel a little odd. Like we don't typically walk through and like pray for the inhabitants of these houses and stuff that we don't know, but I still encourage you guys to try it.
Yeah. Where do you think you'll go for your nature walk?
I'll probably kind of try and do the neighborhood then. I've been, again, like, not to totally like side tangent, but just like trying to think local, like not ordering stuff on Amazon, getting it from the corner store, like that kind of thing. So I don't think I'm gonna drive to like a park and sit in a field. I think I'm gonna like walk my block because I'm really trying to think of like God here in the neighborhood, life in the neighborhood kind of thing. Keep it. Yeah, it helps. I mean, same thing. So I gave up social media before Lent, and part of it, you read a lot more news.
Yep.
And so it's very hard. Like the whole world feels like it's on fire. But when you just think of like your neighbors, it's much more manageable or approachable. Where are you thinking you're gonna go?
Well, I was thinking about this park. That's up by me. It has some kind of nice little hikes and stuff.
Okay.
Why don't we take a camera along, and we'll kind of document some of our prayer walk for our people. Next video, we'll put it in there.
Yeah, man, we'll have a couple of selfie cams of us out walking around. I actually really like that, Sean. It's a good idea.
Everybody loves selfie videos, right? All right. Well, this has been Evan and Sean's Lenten adventure. I'm hoping you're feeling the adventure. And
yeah, man.
It's very exciting. Let's get into nature this next week. Try out these prayer methods. If you have glitter glue in a jar, make sure you make that meditation jar too. And we'll see you next week.
Yep, sounds good. See you, man.
Bye.
Bye. Hey guys, Evan here. I'm so glad that you've been doing Lent with us, whether this was your first video or whether you've been following along the whole time, where I'm just so thankful that you watched to the end. And so I want to take a moment, if this is your first time participating with Lent, and you heard us talking about the Lent kit, it's not too late. You can go to suppleepc.org and you can download a digital one, or you can email the church. I'll put the email address here, and they will also send you a copy, or you can request a hard copy. I just wanted to take a moment, in case you don't have any Easter plans, and invite you to Supplee's Holy Week. So for our Maundy Thursday service, that will be offered both in person and on YouTube. If you are planning on attending in person, you do need to make a reservation on our website. Good Friday is going to be all online, going to be a YouTube service. And for Easter morning, Supplee will be having an in-person service, as well as that will be live streamed. If you are planning on attending in person, you do need to make a reservation with the form on our website. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you next week for Lent, and we hope to see you for Holy Week.